What up, America? What up, world? Welcome to A Better Black America podcast, the #1 urban podcast stateside and worldwide. I'm your host, Bushan Glover. Today is June 30th, 2022, the last day of June. Now, A Better Black America podcast, the whole brand of A Better Black America. We have A Better Black America TV on YouTube. And our mission statement is where we seek solutions and resolutions to create a better America. Not just for blacks, because we know we're not the only ones here. We know a better America, a better black America will be a better America for all, because you will have less homicides, less ignorance, less killing, more opportunity. See, a better black America is blacks embracing the 400 plus year investment of equity that we have in this nation, and they're trying to just distribute it all over the world. Look at all the funding that the Biden administration is reshifting the world's wealth when we're sitting right here. Look at the commitments of billions of dollars to a winless war. So basically, it's just a money laundering scheme. And if you look at all the COVID-19 mandates, and if you start looking into the paperwork, the defunding of the police, giving a whole bunch of grant money, to liberal left-wing organizations just to distribute. So we understand the game. We understand why we can't be who we are. We can't even be honest and be associated with those. But these are the relationships that they have established. And when I say they, I'm saying like baby boomers or organizations prior, to George Floyd, prior to the, taking down of federal abortion rights. So now that they're on the other side of history, then we have to still be associated with those, but let them do what they do, because we don't want to mess their money up. Because if we can assimilate correctly, if they get their act together and if they do what they're supposed to do, when they get to where they're supposed to get to, make the switch up, it's a win-win for everybody. Because it's a clear indication that it just only takes 10 years to handicap a generation. And we need 10 years of healing, like healing, H-E-A-L-I-N-G, not healing, H-E-E-L, like we did in the 90s with the Clintons and the sitting president Joe Biden's 94 crime bill that passed the House 101-0. They got a whole bunch of love for us. So we got the list, and anybody that was in office around that time, is subject for review. Because when you're dealing with, smart intellects, that embrace education, that embrace and understand what an established black elitist group and organization sponsored by the Harvard Society, Harvard North and South campuses. So this is how we win. Barack Obama, he's down. Believe me, he's down. Ketanji Jackson Brown, the first black Supreme Court justice woman, will be sworn in today on the 30th. And think about what she's going to do. Now, Clarence Thomas is being thrown under the bus with the January 6th hearings, the insurrection. And let me redact that. Let me reset the room. What up, America? What up, world? Welcome to A Better Black America podcast, the #1 urban podcast stateside and worldwide, where we seek solutions and resolutions to create not only a better black America, but a better America for all. Now, Clarence Thomas is being thrown under the bus with the women's groups, and more importantly, Hillary Clinton and all the Hollywood liberals, the white liberals, are talking about Clarence Thomas as if he had something to do with Roe versus Wade. Now, you got to understand, these opinions and these top things that the Supreme Court deals with are not supposed to be leaked, number one. This one here leaked. So clearly that was somebody from the Democratic Party, because they already got the funding and the money going for the fighting of Roe versus Wade. But the federal level, the Supreme Court has spoken. The Supreme Court will not support abortion. Now the states have to handle it. And I'm looking at these networks and these shows, and I'm reading online how they're talking about Clarence Thomas, which is racism to me because that's low hanging fruit. Clarence Thomas did not write the opinion. Okay. Justice Alito did. It's a 213-page opinion written by Justice Alito. And nobody's mentioning his name. They're just talking about Clarence Thomas, the Negro. But just understand that Roe versus Wade is out of here. Okay, no abortions on the federal level. Let the states handle it. That's was in the 14th Amendment. So now what's next? The 13th Amendment. So now we could talk about the 13th Amendment. And you have a constitutionalist that's being sworn in today by the name of Ketanji Jackson Brown, and she from Harvard, both campuses. So now we have a sister in there and a brother in there that sees the Constitution for what it is. And listen, I'm just a layman when it comes to politics and pundits and people like that, a wannabe, an aspiring student in the game of politics. So if I know the truth, and I was taught by professors who knew the truth back then, but they basically said it's going to be a time when we will have to address these issues because clearly if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. So literally, if you give them a vote, they will destroy our community. And that's real. And the best thing that I heard this week is that when asked, Kamala Harris was asked about running for president in 2024. And Joe Biden alluded that he would support her. But when she was asked in an interview, she said in 2024, Joe Biden will be running for president for re-election, and I will be on the ticket with him. And I clapped. I jumped for joy because I said this national boycott in 2024 is 100% on. Because if the Democrats produce Joe Biden and Kamala Harris once again, the black man, the formerly tarred and feathered, the descendants of the trans-American slave trade can give a big blank you to the Democratic Party, and we will. Because ain't nobody going to vote for either of the two. And we have to take advice. Some people say that this is why Donald Trump lost the election, but they don't really, want to open their mind to see that how did Joe Biden, pull almost 90 million out of, because nobody said that they voted for him. But when Trump was asked about the Proud Boys, he told them to stand by and stand back. Biden was asked about Antifa. Biden had a little more game that day, and Biden says Antifa's an ideal, an illusion, and just threw that out there. But we're going to take a page out of Donald Trump's handbook because in the 2024 election, we're going to stand by and stand back. Real talk. Because we have to see who, what, why, where, and when America became who she is and what she desires to be based on the promise. Because you got people still coming to this country thinking that this is a beautiful place. I couldn't imagine trying to get to, a land of liberty with justice for all and somehow wind up in a 18-wheeler truck bed, storage compartment, sitting on the side of the road in Texas where 53 people actually lost their lives. And this was, I believe, yesterday. And the body count is still growing. And we're not seeing and hearing anything from our elected officials. And Biden said that Trump needs to take responsibility because he's in charge. And I don't know what was going bad, during the Trump administration, other than our 401ks expanding and us really having pride about the country, make America great again, America first. My ancestry has history in this country. Over 400 years of equity, documentation of many thousands of Glovers fighting in the Civil War for the North. So our history is a little different. You go in our homes, you see our family members. These are Union soldiers, not no Confederate soldiers, Union, who actually helped defeat the South. And somehow, some way, we've been manipulated to embracing liberalism in this country. And now we can't even be black anymore. Well, y'all can't be black because black is back. Black excellence. Now, to be black, you got to be special. Now, if you're an African American, go ahead and just dive into the LBGTQ elemental P car and tell us how much fun that you had over there. OK, because if you look at what's going on, there's nothing changed. The only thing that's happening right now is an elevation of spiritual, an elevation of understanding, and an elevation of oneness, because we know without shadow of a doubt, the cream rises to the top. You know how they say only 1% makes it to the league? There's a 99 percentile out there, and there's cream that rises to the top of that as well. So if you're one of those talking about, I would have made it if I, no. If you would have made it, you can make it now, because you don't just wake up and become something. You are that. Own it. Walk in it. I see situations where, cats say, when I got my hand on the gun, I felt so good. It made me. OK, that's how we get up and walk every day. Just to get up and stand up. We feel good. No fear, no intimidation. Understand that we have protective barriers around us because we serve a great God that loves us. And that's our Father. And when we talk about a better black America, yes, a better black America, the black man is deeply associated with the Most High. Now, we don't get into religion or anything like that because we understand that it's all the same thing. Love your brother as you love yourself, treating people kindly, showing respect, giving a helping hand, helping the next generation get better than the last, because the word says good men, good women leave their children's an inheritance, meaning we have to give them something and make it better than we had it. But we have the power right now to either destroy it or build it. And these are decisions that we got to make. And this is real. These are the decisions that we got to make. We have to truly make a decision on what we going to do. Build or destroy. And I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that 99.9%, if not 100+%, hook, line, and sinker, because this is what we going to do. We can and we will. So if Kamala Harris and Joe Biden be on the ticket in 24, that is the best thing that the Democratic Party could ever do for us, for the simple fact that we will not make that same mistake. And that's the second time around. So I would suggest us to, take a, page out of Donald Trump's handbook and stand by and stand back. And let America produce who she is and who she wants to be, because whoever they produce as their president will cut a deal with them as a sovereign group of people. The Democratic Party is dead when it comes to black America. They own the African Americans, because when you got people running around African American and your best friend is a transgender, your other friend is gay, you hanging out in West Hollywood, you're a part of that culture. That's fine. But when you're over there, you're African American. But when you're over here, you're a black man, because your sexual preference means nothing to us. You ain't never, ever had or heard conversations when men talk about what we do, how we get at. Because we wouldn't do that, because we're not going to promote sin. I don't care if we go get them and have a menage a trois with two females or do our thing. We're not going to sit back and brag about it and say that it's all good. Why don't you do it too? So why are they indoctrinating the culture, the children, into this cesspool of Sodom and Gomorrah-like atmospheres while we're living today, and we all know better than that? It's a better black America. This elevation over here, uplifting. Because for a better black America to thrive, we have to destroy the America that they're trying to hand us. We reject African Americanism. We are a race of people. Our race is our grace. By us claiming our race, that gives us a global domination when it comes to melanation. Now, if you look at the war in Ukraine, that's some ethnic cleansing over there. See, we've been ethnically divided, but they don't understand that we're undefeated. And anytime you put black involved in anything that's not, we're going to dominate. Just as clear as day. And if you don't believe me, go get a full glass of milk and put 1 drop of Hershey's chocolate in it. I bet you get some chocolate milk. But do the reverse. Get some Hershey's chocolate and put a drop of milk in there. You wouldn't even know the milk was in there. It would have to be almost at 50% for that white to show. Okay, so this is why you got cats like the difference between light skin. You got Steph Curry with hazel green eyes, but he got nappy hair. And then you got Jason Tatum with the white features. But see, Curry got a lot of nigga in him. Okay, biracial. See, Tatum got straight Caucasian. But they still black. And if we understand the money and the resources that they bring in, I don't know why we didn't think of this earlier. Because everybody has sold their souls and they're trying to do these weirdo things and they're cheating right now. Just like the Crown Act. They're promoting the Crown Act, raising funds for it, and it's been signed into law already. No one can discriminate you because of your hairdo. Now, if you're in the military or law enforcement, okay, that's protocol. But anything else, if you're being discriminated against with your hair or anything like that, make sure you sue and use the Crown Act. Come on. We're moving forward. So this is going to be a beautiful summer. Beautiful summer. And we know they're going to come guns blazing. We know they're going to come COINTEL. We know they're going to come, but right now they're distracted because it's a global thing going on right now. You got men out there fighting for abortion rights. And the crazy thing about it, life or death. Life or death. We know without a shadow of a doubt, God, the Most High, whether it's the Catholic Church, the Baptist Church, Protestant, anything, even the atheists, when it comes down to it, no one shall kill their babies when it comes down to it. Now, we know that there's exception to the rules, but it's about life or death. We're talking about premeditated death. So if you out there on a picket line, you're talking about premeditated death. Because you're saying is if a woman get pregnant and she didn't do it on purpose, she could kill her baby. Premeditated. God, you guys are going on record. Shame on you. Because at the end of the day, whether you agree with abortion or not, it could be your personal business and you don't have to share that. Just what I'm saying is I'm not a married man. So how can I promote anything outside of that? All I could do is look up and let God and be the best man that I could be the best examples I can be. But I'm not going to lead you astray to have you running amok. But when we sit behind, political parties that's motivated by demonic rule, somebody got to get it and somebody got to say something. And this is why I'm so excited when Kamala Harris says that her and Joe Biden's going to be on the 2024 ticket. And it looked like she winked, like that's your moment. That's the moment for Black America to disassociate themselves with any political party, which would give us back to power. And we'll have the ability to swing vote moving forward in 2028. Because like I said, no one in their right mind will promote, support a second situation. So I would love to see their campaign. I don't even think they're going to campaign. I think Joe Biden's just going to go on a tour and sign any and every bill that will handicap America as long as he alive or for another 1,000 years. Because the science of Willie Lynch kept it 100. The science of Willie Lynch said we could do this for hundreds of years, if not thousands. And it looked like Joe Biden is Mr. Willie Lynch because he says follow the science. And that's what it is. The science of Willie Lynch. And that's real. So what I'm saying is separate but equal. Is that Plessy versus Ferguson? We need to really understand that because there's no way we could thrive being liabilities to anything. And that's the craziest thing about it. And I'm going to go ahead and close out with this. Let me reset the room. Welcome to a Better Black America podcast, the number one urban podcast stateside and worldwide. I'm your host, Bouchon Glover. Now, January 6th. The January 6th hearings is a dog and pony show. When I say a dog and pony show, I mean it. I actually Googled January 6th. You know what came up? A TV series. That's exactly what it said, a TV series. So yesterday they had Cassidy Hutchinson, which was a low-level person that was with the Trump administration who switched to the Democratic side, had an opportunity to speak, and it was not a testimony. I know she swore, put her hand up, but it was not a testimony because the things that she said, it reminded me of Justice Kavanaugh when they brought in, the lady who he supposed to did something to when she was 14 or something and put the bifocals on her and put the Coca-Cola in front of her and made her act weird and just to kind of hurt his credibility, which backfired. This is the same thing. I'm watching the TV and I'm listening to her and it sounds like she should have been testifying against R. Kelly. That's what it sounds like. She used that tone. She was reading. It was so perfect, but she was not cross-examined. And if you are in a court of law situation and there's no cross-examination, that's literally, just a conversation, to its basic sense or basic terms. Because when you are in court, you have to cross-examine the witness, if they are a witness, to see if that's credible or not. Because we know without a shadow of a doubt, humans lie. Women lie. Men lie. Everybody lie. But if you look at situations, we're talking about careers and things like that. I mean, a white woman is the worst one because she's the one that we would believe. But if you look at history, she's the worst to ever do it because she could do it with a clean face. I know it's a whole bunch of men in jail right now for rape, and a white woman just got up there and testified with a clear face just like her. So we don't trust white women. White women are the absolute worst. And we don't call them Karens no more. We going back to what Beyonce said, they Becky's with the good hair. I know too many beautiful black Karens. Okay, so Becky up there lying. Because I'm looking at the story, I'm looking at the news or whatever I was watching, and she's telling a story. And she kept on saying, what I think or what I heard of it or his intentions, and she didn't see anything firsthand. She basically said that Donald Trump, and listen to this, that Donald Trump told his driver in the Beast, and the Beast is the presidential Cadillac, go to the White House, and he said no. Then she said Trump grabbed the steering wheel. Okay. And I'm sitting back like, wait a minute. So I go to my private sites. And then I saw, bam, on that day, Trump didn't even get in the Beast. He got into an SUV in the back seat. And listen to this. She said that his driver or Secret Service person, and they're asking questions to the Secret Service, Trump told his driver to take him to the White House or to the Capitol. And he told him no, and he started taking the wheel. Could you imagine working for Donald Trump for 4 years? And if Donald Trump at that time, when it happened, and you turn around and Trump says, take me to the White House, and you say, no, sir, if Trump told that man to go to the White House, I'm sure that driver would have drove to the White House happy because they knew it was some hanky-panky with the election. And then now that the smoke is clearing, regardless of whether it was hanky-panky or not, we could say it's hanky-panky because it made everything worse, like a ploy. But she has no cross-examination, but they're cross-examining her and discrediting everything that she's saying in social media. But they're not going to promote that because the January 6th is a TV series, political theater. So y'all pretty much watching an Oval or something like that. But a better black America, man. Now, I'm not saying, I'm a fortune teller or anything like that. but my nickname is Bishop. And my cousin reminded me not too long ago that the original was Bishop Prophet, meaning prophetic. So the things that I'm sharing with you, go back, go on my timeline, go to my YouTube channel, Better Black America TV. Go ahead and look at these old videos of 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago and tell me that I'm not on point where I'm at right now. Because this is the thing. When you're on the right side of history, when you're on the right side, it's the spiritual side. Because when you're on the other side, you really just go with the flow. But sometimes you got to make a decision like, wait a minute, something ain't right. Sometimes you got to be careful for nothing or anxious for nothing and wonder what's going on, because the devil's distractions will lead us straight to hell, because the wages of sin is death. So now we understand. And if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris get on that ticket, believe me, that would be the best thing that we can do, because then we can boycott the election with no problem, because we're going to boycott the 2024 election, because I don't think any God-fearing human being will go back in there and vote for either of the two if they're confused, because God is not the author of confusion and he did not create the spirit of fear. So the fear mongering scared you into voting for Joe Biden. And Joe Biden probably is the worst and best thing that could have ever happened to us, because somehow we got the man that's responsible for steering our generation and steering the black community, literally, breaking it down to its last elements from a genocidal perspective, decided to stop any, border defense when he came in. And now you have people coming over here dying by the 50s, in trucks. And you got bags of fentanyl popping up in the border where one pill can actually kill 100 people. This is Biden's administration. This is the Biden-Harris administration. This is Biden's country. This is how they want the country to run. So clearly, when the Democrats is in control, they don't care. They want poverty. They want murder. They want killing. They want you to get robbed. Joe Biden wants you, your wife, your son, your daughter to get killed. That's what Joe Biden wants, because that's what his policy says. And since he sold us out, this is the best thing that we could do. This man right here, Joe Biden, it's worse than J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover was not the president of the United States. So now we get an opportunity as black Americans to stick it to the man one good time. That's right. And who the man is, we don't know who the man is. Ain't nobody showing up at our doors defending the man. The man is a system, a ghost system that's called a lost cause that's been going on for far too long. And we're going to deal with that lost cause. And that lost cause is the Confederacy, Democratic, Dixiecratic, racist KKK, Democratic Party South. Man, with that being said, man, this your man, Bushan Glover. Thanks for tuning in to a Better Black America podcast, #1 urban podcast stateside and worldwide. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel, a Better Black America TV. Make sure you go to Conservatives of America -COA, which means the black man is running the colors of America. Yeah, we got that. And we're running it as black conservatives, but we're not Republicans. We're not Democrats. We're Christians. All right. With that being said, y'all have a great day. Peace out.